That's the start. All right, everyone. This is the last episode of Granted for the summer right now. But there's no better group of people to do it with than these two men right here. Make sure you tell the people who you are, just because they might have forgotten. I doubt they've forgotten, but you know.
Um, I'm Ryan. I was on like an episode long time ago, back in the day.
Was a minute ago.
Um, been friends with Grant since middle school. We play basketball together, and yeah.
What's up? I'm Jake. I was on like one of the first episodes
You were.
to ever drop from Granted.
Yeah.
I've been friends with both of these guys since sixth grade. Been on the same basketball teams for forever.
A minute.
Yeah, it's a great way to send it off here.
It's definitely weird. It's definitely weird doing this right now. This is the last
It is
time that
it is a weird feeling.
I think when we come back, some things will be changed.
Yep.
Like, you might be even cooler, you know?
Oh, oh,
You might have even more aura than you do right now. So it's definitely weird because once we come back, everyone will have different, like when this episode comes back in the winter time,
right.
we're gonna have so many stories
Stories
and
to
lore to
tell.
share.
Yeah.
So I am excited, but it's definitely, a nice send off episode.
Okay.
Apologies to the fans. I have to apologize because, I had a goal to post every week of the summer, and it didn't happen. And especially towards the end of the stretch here, I definitely did not post as much as I wanted to. But some things are more important, especially like YouTube and other friendships are more important than recording and posting on YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But to start it off, speaking of the summer, what was the highlight of each of your summers, and why was that the highlight? Because you both did a lot.
Okay. I'd have to say I went on a trip with my cousin earlier
Yeah,
in the summer. Um, and it was just kind of like kind of like this, but like a final send off
yeah,
for me and him. And we're like that. That's like the thing with cousins, but it's like built-in best friends.
yeah,
You know what I
totally.
mean? So it was pretty fun. It was just me and him and the grandparents. We went around Illinois, small town.
Hmm.
Felt like we were in the '90s. We
Yeah,
riding our bikes around with a speaker, and it was really fun. Yeah, it was a good way
I
to.
remember you told me that you rode around on the same street that your dad rode
Yeah,
around.
yeah. So the same house my dad grew up in with,
Yeah,
and my cousin's dad. Like
it's so wild to
it was
me.
crazy. Yeah.
That's like definitely a full circle.
Oh yeah, it felt
It
crazy.
felt like an era where you didn't have phones, you
Yeah,
didn't
like
have any of it, like a
yeah,
small town like
yeah.
that.
It was crazy.
That is pretty fun. And I mean, I don't relate to the cousin part, unfortunately.
Mm,
All I have extended family, but my cousins are all older than me
okay.
or younger than me, and that's something I always am jealous of because like people go out to see family and I don't as much with that. I don't have any cousins that I'm close with, and the one cousin that I had that was around my age, something happened between us that broke us apart. So that sucked a lot. But Ryan, go ahead. Highlight.
Yeah, so I think my highlight was going to Taiwan to
Yeah.
visit, my family. You talk about like the cousins part, like I'm not as close with my cousins because some of them live in Taiwan, some of them live in Canada, and then I have another one that lives in Japan. So this time when I went back, I got to see my cousins from Canada for the first time in like 6 years. So
That's
like
crazy.
Wow.
we're not really like built-in best friends, but like it was good to see them again. Like it was a little awkward at first just because we
Hmm.
haven't seen each other in so
Yeah.
long, but like once we started hanging out with each other, start to click, and it was just good to see my grandparents also. Like
Yeah.
they're they're getting old,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how it is. Like my grandpa has dementia, so it's kind of like he doesn't really remember me, but it's good to
Hmm.
see him again and just spend time with him. So
Yeah.
so I saw both sides of my family, and then it was just good to reunite with them before I head off to
That's
college.
pretty important.
Yeah.
And the cousins from Canada were your age?
One of them is 17, so he's about the same age as me, and
Okay.
then another one is I don't know, 13, I believe. So,
Okay. Was it like a family reunion? I don't think I knew about that part.
not really. They were just, they came back around the same time, so we kind of planned around that and
Okay.
decided to see each other at the same time. Like
Yeah.
my cousin who lives in Japan, we didn't get to see them,
Okay.
but I saw my cousins who live in Taiwan. Like they're in their 20s, they're working or in grad school and all that.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a big range of ages for my family. So
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
One thing that I set out before the episode is this ball,
Mm,
and it made me think of the last summer we had which was our junior summer. Do you want me to tell the audience the
Yeah,
meaning of the
I think
ball?
you got the best story.
Okay, so the ball normally sits in the corner back there where no one can see it, and it is a janky ass ball, bro. Like it is. Anyone watching right now, if you can actually make out the details of this ball, it's simply a beat up outdoor ball with a net on it. And you might be wondering, what's the significance of this ball? Like, why is he collecting weird shit like that? Well, this ball means a lot, and I don't really look at it too often, but when I do, really just stare my eyes into that ball, it means a lot because what we did that summer was the net that you see on the ball right there was fully intact during that summer, and we did a lot of like us three, and then Mason did a lot of shooting. Like we would just come, like they would just come over and shoot at my house all the time. So then I think it was one day it was just Ryan and I, and we were just shooting jump shots or whatever. And Ryan shot his shot went in, but it broke like a string of the net. So then the net was like one part of it was hanging off. So then Ryan and I were like, hold on, what if we like continued to break the net until it like no longer was on the hoop anymore? So I think we broke like two that first day.
Yeah.
So you just basically the idea is like you just shoot it in a specific spot and it catches the net and then snaps the net off the rim. So that was the goal for the entire summer was to snap the net off the rim. And it might seem pretty meaningless, but it was kind of like that's just heavy lore for us, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean we got so many shots up just trying to get the net down.
Yeah.
And then it might have been August of last
right
year.
before summer ended.
I think it was seriously like almost a year to date. We had like one or two strings left on the net, so it's really just hanging off one side at this point. And that was the hardest part.
Yeah, because
Was snapping it with just that part. And Ryan and I, Jake and I, we spent really like we would go until it was literally dark out, until the net, like we were trying to snap those last rungs, and it never happened, and it was getting frustrating. But then you will never believe who actually ended up snapping the net, bro. My dad and I were shooting out there, and I thought that this was a big play for me. This was good. This was a good play for me. So there was a water puddle like near the alleyway, and I was like, well, if you get the ball wet, right now it's heavier. It's heavier now. It has more weight to put on the net. So we start shooting with the wet ball. My dad and I, and I think we would do like what was our rotation? 10 each. Yeah. 10 makes.
Mm-hmm.
So we do 10-10. It's my dad's turn. He shoots it, and it literally snaps the net. And I was like, no way.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all four of us, my dad is the one to snap it.
I think that's a good way to end it.
It was a good way. It's like Pops got in there and put work in, and then it was over. But more than anything, the net symbolizes something deeper. And the audience might find this whole idea cringy, but we had a goal. And we made that shit happen, even though it didn't look super promising at times. The net is like, I think you do both have the...
I do. Not on me, but it is in
little string.
It's in my room.
I have it tied to my lanyard like that I take out everywhere. So
yeah. So I cut off a piece of the net for everyone that like contributed to helping shoot it out. And it just means it kind of goes pretty well with the episode now, like going into something new. And a lot of this college stuff is scary, but snapping the net is like we put our mind to doing it and it happened. Mm-hmm. That's really, it comes down to just that. If you put your mind to doing something and you have a goal, you can accomplish it even though it is very hard. And it was a dumb goal. Like it was a childish goal, I guess it could be argued, but we actually did it. And that is the significance of that ball, and it will never leave unless they throw it away when I'm gone.
Cool.
So, yeah, it was nice just thought of that before we get into the other stuff. All right, so we've been friends for a long time, covered that. Yep. What is one of your favorite memories that we've had as a group? I'm trying to think because most times, we are not four strong. There's really four of us, and most of the time there's one person gone.
Yeah.
But favorite memory, I'd say if you guys have one right now in your head or not? Do you need to think about it?
I have one.
Okay.
I'm probably going to think of more. But when, I'm pretty sure it was all four of us, we all went to that lake.
Oh my God, that was classic. Yes.
And you know how I am. Like sometimes I don't go out all the time.
Yeah, but
I kind of stay home. But that was the one time I was like, Mom, Dad, I'm going to this. Like,
Yeah.
this is it. And we went for basically the whole day.
Yeah.
And it was sweet. We had the speaker out, we had the
It was so
paddle
fun.
boards out. It was really fun.
I forget what lake we went
It was
to.
like Bear, I feel like it said
Bear Creek or
Bear
something.
Creek, I think.
It was
The
out
Bear Creek
by.
Reservoir. Is that what it's called?
Oh,
It sounds right, but I
it's
don't know for
very
sure.
it's a very popular spot.
It
Yeah.
was pretty popular.
But that was such a fun day. I'm glad you thought of that.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
I forgot about that.
That was last summer as well.
Yeah, that's one.
That was a good
That's one of my
that was a good
favorites.
memory. Ryan, do you have one?
I mean, I was gonna say this net because
That does.
it's not
Yeah.
something that happened in like one night. It happened over like the
That's
span of
true.
the whole
Yeah.
summer. Like there's days where it's just us two or you two or
Yeah.
and then there's all four of us, and then it was just something cool. Like I think it's really unique compared to the experiences that other people have had. So
Yeah, I completely
that's
agree
one
with
of
that.
like the coolest memories I have.
I think the other one is Mason's party was pretty fun.
Oh,
Mhm, it was a
yes,
great party.
yes.
It just when all four of us are together, it's a very good time.
It
But
was a good time.
taught these boys how to play die, not Ryan already knew, but playing die and just being together kind of towards the end of the summer was really meaningful. And then also we had one sleepover, maybe one
Four of us?
here.
Yeah, we did. It was here. Yeah, that was the one time we had all four.
What did we do that night? I think we
watched the
got up to
comedy-
some
comedy
shenanigans.
video.
Oh yeah, I
We
think
all dying.
yeah, that was fun. Mini hoop's a big attraction.
I think we probably just outside hooping at one point.
Yeah,
Probably,
that's really a
that's
go-to.
usually what we do.
Yeah. One thing that I wish you two got to experience is Mason and I, like when you guys were both gone, there were like two, this happened twice. So there I hit him up, I was like, bro, we have no moves tonight, like let's just drive somewhere random.
Oh, you guys
So,
would drive to Golden.
We drove to Golden. We drove to Golden and walked around, and I brought like my camera, and honestly I didn't even use the camera that night. But we just walked around, got random pictures. We were up by the Mines campus. But that dude, I wish we did more of that because it's so fun. Like just it's so random, but I love the randomness of doing something like that. So yeah, we drove up to Golden, walked around, and then we did it again like the next week, and that was a good time. But we'll do that sometime. Like I kind of wanted to get a random lunch is what I wanted to do.
Mhm.
Like all four of us would just drive up
Yeah,
to like
yeah.
not somewhere not like Colorado Springs, more like a Broomfield or some
Yeah.
random crap, and then see what's up there.
Yeah,
You know, but those are good memories.
Mhm.
But
for sure.
next up, we got college on the horizon. I leave in 5 days. I am like
Man,
the countdown. I am
Man.
under
that is crazy.
a week at this point. So what's one thing that you want to continue to do well in college? Like maybe for an example, it could be your work ethic or something.
Mhm.
And what's one thing that you want to get better at? Something that you want to improve at? Something you're not as good at?
Well, honestly, for me, I just want to continue like like self motivation.
Yeah.
Because I'm playing in college, so it's like you to keep that motivation alive
Yeah.
all through the year. I definitely want to keep that up, and then to work on, I just want to be a little bit more socially outgoing. Because that's definitely something I need to work on. There's a lot of times actually, I don't love to go out
Yeah.
and do things, but I think college is a good place to kind of explore and
Mhm.
figure out how I can handle that and
Mhm.
have fun at the same time.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I just kind of want to, just keep like that balance of like outside life and school life, or working on like your time management because like
Yeah.
we all played basketball, like balancing those two, it wasn't easy, but
No.
when you were able to, it was really fun and
Mhm.
like the results like really paid off and it was like exciting to see how you progress both in school and on the court.
Right.
And like one thing I want to work on is just like I think in high school I was able to get away with like doing the bare minimum. I think college is like a big step forward like in terms of like how you have to like get by with your grades and stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we all have like ambitious goals. So, I just want to work on being able to like manage my organization, work ethic, all of that
Yeah. I feel
in a
that.
better way. So,
I think it's funny you say that because Ozzy mentioned the same thing yesterday about not doing the bare minimum. And you guys have similar paths. He wants to go to med school.
yeah, me too.
So he was saying the exact same thing about there is no bare minimum anymore because like GPA in high school really doesn't matter too much, but like now I don't know how much it matters for jobs either, but having a high GPA in college definitely helps you get
Where you want to
jobs.
go,
Like
yeah, for
because they
sure.
see that you know, put the work in for your
Hmm.
classes. And I think it's very attainable for all of us
Yeah.
to have a really high GPA. Like it's not a super hard thing to do. It won't be easy, but that's a good one. And then Jake, I just wanted to say about like the social thing. I think I think it's good that you have a goal to be more social. I don't think that you need to be more social
I
if
agree.
that's who you are.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when you obviously like we miss you when you don't come out, but there's something to that. Like if you are more introverted and that's who you are, then just do you. There's no reason to force your like if you really don't want to go out, then don't.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because
I
here's what
agree.
could happen: if you go out and you don't have a good time, well then you could have been in chilling the whole time.
That's true.
So don't like overdo it. Like there's
Yeah.
definitely a certain
Oh,
aspect
for
of
sure.
pushing yourself, but like if you find that you're going out continuously and you're not liking it, then don't
Yeah.
force yourself to
No,
do it
yeah,
that
for
much.
sure. For sure.
Like you're already super close with your teammates. You could
Yeah.
just chill with
Yeah.
them in the
Exactly.
dorm
That's
or
true.
whatever.
Yeah.
For me, I'll say one thing I was solid at and one thing that I want to continue to do is get work done early.
Mm.
So
Procrastination.
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, so I am thankful enough to have developed some sort of habit, hopefully, regarding school. Like I had to take summer classes this summer, so I had to learn how to manage time again. Like it really didn't end for me. I went from high school to still having to manage time during summer. So I think one thing, if you are gonna do work, like get it done before anything else happens,
Yeah.
because I
Yes.
would kind of do the work early in the morning and then I'd be able to see you guys, I'd be able to see other people because it was already done. But if you go out with people and you still got work to do, now you're just stressed out
Yeah.
and you're too tired to do it anyways.
Yep.
So I'll hopefully be able to continue to get work done early. Something I want to be better at. I'm definitely gonna have to learn how to be more independent. Like there's
Oh yeah,
certain
for
things I'm
sure.
Yeah.
not like doing laundry is a simple one, but
Yeah.
like that there's certain things that I will procrastinate with
For
regarding
sure.
chores
For sure.
and shit like
Oh,
that.
for sure.
Like if you can't be wearing the same shirt twice at this
Yeah.
point.
Like
Like there's
yeah.
no there's I mean there's too many people that you're making a first impression on,
Exactly.
so you got to lock
Yeah.
it in. Or also I'd say I want to get better at introducing myself to strangers I don't know.
Mm.
I think it's easy if you're put in a position, but like if there's like a girl or a guy, it doesn't matter, that you like think that you would vibe with, like you gotta go talk to them. Otherwise, you might blow the opportunity. That's something that's
Right.
scary, but what's interesting is you said it was awkward between your cousins when you start talking, right?
Hmm.
And that's because you haven't seen them in a while.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I think you all could probably understand this. Once I start talking to someone, you get in a groove
Exactly.
Yeah.
and
Yep.
you
Yeah.
start to like it
For
doesn't
momentum.
matter mentally, you're kind of
Yeah.
like not thinking about it anymore, you're just trying to listen and
Exactly.
talk. So once you actually introduce yourself, now it's easy. The hardest part is going up there and
Yeah.
introducing yourself.
I like
So
that because I think going into college, everyone's on the same boat. Like
yes,
they're all still trying to meet new people. So
yes,
if you're the one to reach out, like that'll do them a large favor because they're probably looking to meet new people too,
yeah,
and they could be scared to reach out. So you reaching out could be a
a good way to
good
start
way to
it.
start it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So
So a lot of people try new things in college and kind of grow into different people. Are there new hobbies or interests that you want to explore?
Mm.
I know Graham's taking a freaking billiards class, so that would be like an
Wow.
example of something that you
I
want to do.
I was watching volleyball for the
Yeah,
Olympics, and I just thought it was really cool. So I kind of want to
that'd be
try
lit.
intramural volleyball
Yes,
because
do
I
that.
was at orientation for Texas, and like one night we just went to the rec center, and there's just a bunch of people playing
That's
volleyball,
awesome.
and that was like really fun. Like there's some like really good players. I'm not that good, but then like they still let me play, and it's just like pretty cool. It's like I think it's pretty similar to basketball, so like
Yeah.
I think it's something I could be good at, and I just want to try
That
it.
would be
So
so fun.
yeah,
If you came back and you were just a demon at volleyball,
yeah,
it'd be insane.
Yeah, honestly, you stole my idea because during the off season, like there's sand volleyball courts right outside our dorm,
Yeah.
and people are always out there. And they did say there was some intramural teams that play,
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, if off season is off,
Yeah.
might as well.
Volleyball's the in right now for
Hey,
you
we might come
guys.
back and we might have to run some people in volleyball.
Absolutely.
I mean, you better get on your grind too.
I will. Now I have no choice but to
Me
play
and Ryan
volleyball. I have no choice but to start playing volleyball. I'm not gonna fall behind. But there's this one time we pulled up to Wash Park for basketball runs. There were 50 to
Oh, yeah.
100 volleyball
Yeah.
nets there.
Yeah.
Like they had some sort of tournament. I don't know. It was crazy though.
Yeah.
Every single group was playing volleyball. And it's interesting too because I think volleyball's bigger than we think.
Oh, for sure.
I
For sure.
One of my older coworkers, like she invited me to a couple barbecues this summer, and their whole family plays volleyball. Like that
Oh,
is
wow.
the activity. There is no. I think it's because it's really just involves everybody. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's easy to get a 5-6v6 going, so
It's
everyone's
like
involved.
backyard game.
It's really easy to get involved with. But you said it was similar to basketball.
I mean, like you got
Yeah.
like the
Jumping.
athletic ability wise, you have to like move laterally,
Yeah,
jump,
Yeah.
and I mean, indoor volleyball is played on a basketball court, so like
that's true.
that's just kind of what I thought.
Yeah.
I do see the similarities. There's no better feeling than getting up there and
And just-
spiking.
yeah,
Oh
exactly.
my God.
Yeah.
There is really no
Yeah.
better feeling. Okay, volleyball.
There's another one, like I told you this, but Jake was out of town. Like going out one night and just like having a fake identity. I told you like I
Oh,
wanna just be
yeah,
some, like,
yeah.
international student
Yes.
who's from like Asia. So,
Yes. Like speaking poor English and everything.
yeah, so I think
That'd be
I
so
might never meet that person again.
Yeah.
But it's just funny to
make a different first impression.
like.
Bro, tell him about the idea we had for Zach's party. When I was supposed to spit game that night. And I did, but there was this girl that was coming to this party that I knew, and on the way there we were tell him what your thoughts were.
Well, we're like, we gotta be
Wingman.
script or something. Hype Grant up. Like he could be like a professional, like not a professional, but like a really good athlete at
Yeah.
something. Like, oh, he's actually supposed to be at the Olympics right now for badminton, but like he had knee issues, so he declined. But no, it didn't happen. We didn't actually do that, but it would have been fun.
It would have been really
That'd
funny.
be awesome.
I think there's gonna be opportunities in college.
Exactly.
I'm gonna have to see if some other boys are down to do that. Because the other one was like they were gonna say that I was like a ping pong player. They were gonna say that I was like just came back from the G League or like. And the best part would have been if there were multiple different like I was saying that they should go up individually, and each
Different
person
people,
talks
yeah.
about a different thing. So you could be like, well, he was an Olympic kayaker, but he declined that, and he's actually supposed to go. He's supposed to leave tomorrow morning for the Olympics in ping pong and stuff like that. So you just throw everything at this girl, and she's like, I don't know which one it is, but he must be an athlete. Yeah, that would be good. I think that's funny though. The next thing I got is you pretty much touched on this, but the best piece of advice that you've learned
Hmm.
or that been given before leaving. Well, you touched on it with sort of, but I'll let you say your thoughts. Like the best piece of advice, you kind of said it, but not really.
Well, I think for college, it's a new level of independence. So I think it's just learning to be responsible and kind of like you kind of said it when you were talking to Jake about going out, like do things that you're comfortable with,
Yeah,
or like it's good to go out of your comfort zone and do things, but don't do anything like stupid or
yeah, yeah.
stuff like that, like something that you wouldn't enjoy or
Right.
wouldn't be comfortable doing. So
I feel that.
that's one of mine.
Okay,
That's
more of
what
like a parenting.
yeah.
I definitely know a parent gave you that advice.
Yeah.
All right, Jake.
Well, my dad actually told me, especially for you two, since you guys are going to such big schools, this could probably apply to you. But first day, like introduce yourself to your professors and make sure you make that relationship or connection, because they're teaching a bunch of students the same thing, and you want them to be there to help if
Yeah.
you need it, obviously. And if they know you and they see that you are a good kid and stuff like that, they'll probably be more likely to help you.
That's
So,
huge.
Yeah, my dad was like, first day, you see your professor, introduce yourself, tell him like who you are and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
go from there.
That's actually a really good piece of advice.
Yeah,
I don't know how that hasn't come up for me, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
big.
So especially for you two. So
So
big
basically,
schools.
I'm like, hi, my name's Grant Durant. Uh, I was supposed to play ping pong in the Olympics this year, but my mom said I couldn't, so I'm here now. Like that type of introduction. You could really run that with the professor.
You could.
They wouldn't know. Yeah.
They wouldn't know. They would never even find
Yeah.
out. That's huge, though. I have a good story for you from my mom.
Okay.
So my mom was like, I don't remember what class it was. She was on the verge of failing the class.
Okay.
But and this translates to the long term of having a relationship with your professor. So she was failing, she needed help. She went in to get help, or she went in to argue a grade. And then I think she ended up with, I think she was on the verge of a D towards the end of the finals.
Mhm.
And I think she ended with a D technically, and her teacher bumped her to a C plus or a C minus, like a passing grade,
Right.
just because she reached out for help, just because she went in to talk to her teacher multiple times, shows that you care,
Right.
and then literally got saved because of that. Instead of having a D or an F, because she talked to her professor, she got it done. So that's a big one, honestly. Um, Biggest piece of advice. Oh, I want to talk about the one that you basically said. Everyone
Oh yeah.
everyone wants to meet other people on Welcome Week. So one piece of advice I received from a graduate, he goes to CU now, but he said that you seriously need to or maybe it wasn't him. Doesn't matter who said it. You have to be social, and there's an extent to which this is true. You don't need to be it, but I'm gonna try and focus on being overly social, like to the
Mhm.
point where I want to come home, I want to go back to the dorm, and I want to be dead tired from talking to people. That is what the goal is for me, because that means that you're meeting as many people as you can.
Yeah.
So if you're meeting as many people as you can before you start class and everything, that just helps a lot, right?
Yeah.
And you never know what those people will end up. Those could be your teammates on intramural sports. You might see them in clubs. You might have class with them. But if you already know them and you've already established a relationship, then that's big.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I don't remember who it was now, but they were saying how there's really no. I can't think of a single time in the 18 years that I've been alive where everyone is looking to meet new people. Like everyone.
Right.
So at the start of freshman year, we didn't have that because of COVID.
Yeah.
So now this is like the fresh start again.
Yeah.
But every single person, if you go up to talk to them, they're looking for the exact same thing. So you might as well just go talk to everybody. So that's the biggest piece of advice I have right now.
I mean, yeah, I kind of already experienced that at orientation.
Yeah, yeah.
First day, I walked in knowing absolutely nobody, but then you start by going to lunch.
Yeah.
So then I step in line for lunch, and then I just make eye contact with the person right in front of me in line, and then we just start talking, and then we sit together for lunch, and then there's other people sitting by themselves or someone just walking around looking for people to sit with,
Mm-hmm.
and we just invite them over,
Mm-hmm.
and then suddenly you have a huge group of
Yeah.
people eating lunch together, sitting at
Beautiful.
one table. We ended up making a group chat for
Yeah.
orientation, and then we just hung out all of orientation
so
together,
awesome.
and it was pretty cool. People people want friends, obviously. So if you just go out of your way to do that, you'll find friends, and if you just stick with them, they'll be there for you.
It'll be pretty easy.
Mhm.
That's such a
That is
again,
true, yeah.
when else is that going to happen?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, and you did it right. You
Mhm.
did it the right way, exactly.
Yeah.
But now it's time to get serious.
Yep.
So, I mean, the hardest part for me, for everybody that I've talked to, leaving in 5 days is the goodbyes. The people that you have to say goodbye to. And it's not, one thing that I mentally have to keep telling myself is it's not permanent. I'm saying goodbye to you boys in 4 days, but it's not an end all be all. We come back over break and it's going to be the exact same thing. We'll hop right back on these mics and it'll be like nothing changed. But it's definitely weird. And even though you guys went to East and I went to Northfield and we didn't see a lot of each other, at least I knew you were close.
Right.
Mhm.
And now it's everyone's dispersed. So
Yeah.
saying goodbye, there's something to be said about that. What is a good way to say goodbye? What makes a goodbye meaningful instead of something that you would feel kind of regret about. And that could be permanent too, with people that are kind of suffering from illness or something like that. Like what makes a good goodbye to you guys?
I think I think like the most meaningful ones are like the ones that kind of you'll see them again. Like you've been close with them. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna say goodbye to each other. That's gonna be really meaningful, but we know we'll see each other again. Like
Yeah.
I think like after high school, you say goodbye to a bunch of your classmates, but like I feel like in a way those weren't as meaningful in a way because like it's kind of sugar coated. Like you'll talk about we'll meet up again or we'll
Yeah.
do this
It's
together
true.
over summer, and you end up never seeing each other again. I think like those aren't as meaningful. Obviously, you're saying goodbye to someone you had a good time with, but I think the most meaningful ones are like the ones where you're close with that
Yeah.
person. The goodbye is temporary and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
That's true.
Yeah.
So.
No, yeah, to back up on that, it's just there's people like you guys, and there's people in my life that I consider now family. You know, there's those friendships that
Yeah.
get to that point
Absolutely.
where you guys just know, no matter what happens, like they got your back and that they'll be there for you no matter what. Um, so, like he said, you know, there's obviously people that we all knew in high school, but we weren't as close with, but we
Mhm.
knew. Those goodbyes, you know, they hurt, but they're not as hurtful because you know that's just a chapter of life. You know, you got to move on.
Yeah.
But with you guys, it's like I'll see you in the next
Yeah,
chapter, and I'll
yeah.
keep seeing you in the next chapter. And with today's world, with technology, like it also kind of does ease it a little bit, just because I know you're a text away or like a
Yeah,
call away.
that's so
Like,
true.
You know what I mean? Like my parents or our parents, like they didn't have as easy.
Yeah, my parents did that the other day.
And so we are really fortunate to be able to be from states away, be able
Yeah.
to text each other.
Yeah, it's
call
so
each
true
other.
though.
But like you said, we're gonna come back here next break and be back here.
It's gonna be the
It's gonna
same.
be the same. Like nothing changed. Like
Yeah.
we never left. And
It's true.
Yeah.
I think maybe I was thinking about it more technically. Like if I'm just like, all right, peace.
oh yeah, no. If you do that,
That's it,
I'm
you
not
know,
gonna talk to you.
That
Yeah.
feels then that feels less meaningful. But I don't know. That's really
Yeah.
not. I think we're already friends. So the goodbye means less. It's less about what you say. It's more about just like knowing it's gonna come back. But would you guys say that's the hardest part about leaving, or is there something else that you would is also hard
Saying
about
goodbye
it?
is the hardest.
Well, would you say
Yes.
that's the hardest part?
I think one thing is like doing this right now so close to when you're leaving is part of the goodbye.
Yeah,
Like we're doing all these things before we leave just
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's true.
like we can actually
Yeah.
enjoy our time together that we still have. Like I think that's part of it and yeah, I got sidetracked. I forgot what I was
Yeah.
gonna say, but I think that's really meaningful. Like
The stuff you do before.
yeah,
The
it's like,
actual
it's like a
goodbye.
long term thing,
Yeah.
not just the literal
True.
okay, I'll see you later, but the things you do before that.
Yeah.
That's
So,
true.
Like you said yesterday when we were on a call, you were like, I want to do something with you guys every day.
Yeah, that was
This
my
week.
that is my goal.
And that right there is just a meaningful goodbye. Like if you were like, oh, out of the blue, like, hey, I leave today.
Yeah, that would
Come
suck.
by the
right?
house and say goodbye.
Yeah.
Like that, I'd come, but it'd just be like, oh wow.
Why didn't you let me
Yeah.
know earlier or whatever? Yeah.
But yeah, like I feel like building up to it and making these last memories, not last, but like final memories with each other that we have right now, and then that's a meaningful goodbye.
Yeah.
I think that like build up to it.
That's a really good way to think about it, actually.
I think it hasn't like even kicked in yet that you're leaving in 5 days.
Yeah.
hasn't
I
even
think
hit
it's
yet.
gonna hurt like afterwards because like
Yeah.
I'm leaving the latest out of basically almost all of my friends.
Yeah.
There's a few that'll stay, but like I think once you guys are gone and then I'm at home, I'm like, damn, I have nothing to do.
Right.
I think that's when it's gonna like actually set in. So
It's definitely what's the saying? Like you never realize what you miss until it's gone.
Until it's gone. Yeah.
So it's definitely for me though. I don't know. I'm feeling it now, personally.
Well,
Like I'm feeling it now. It's definitely like my parents are very emotional about it too. Like they can feel that it's coming. And for me, I never ever check my calendar, but these last few days I've woken up and I'm like literally looking at the calendar like it's August 5th and I leave on the 10th. So it's just weird, dude. It's very like it's very two-sided. You're going into something so exciting, but you're never gonna live with your parents. It's never gonna feel the same,
Yeah.
and that hurts.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It is. There's definitely some like a
So the transition sucks.
Yeah. Like, and I'll see on social media, like, you'll never live with your siblings again, whatever,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
But it's true,
It
yeah.
does just hit you, But you're also so excited to move to college,
Yeah.
because you start your life fresh, but it definitely does hit you.
It's
And
not the same.
I'm sure it does. It's hitting you right now.
Yeah.
Because you're leaving for wow.
Yours is so much.
Yeah,
It's
really
right. It's
soon.
right around the corner.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Like this is my last time using this gear in this room.
that's just crazy.
And to me,
like
that's
that doesn't
insane.
that doesn't even feel right for me to hear. Like,
Yeah.
that just doesn't set with
You
me.
just want to hear more.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, let's go. Keep it going.
You
the
want to hear
things
more
you change.
episodes.
Like the next time you sit in this basement, it's probably gonna feel different. Like I'd assume like these posters might not be.
It might not-
taking them to college, right?
Yeah.
So,
Right, and my family's the prime bottles behind you guys are gonna be gone, unfortunately.
No.
Bro, I'm saying I've been collecting those
No.
for 2 years, bro. Honestly, maybe I'll just ask them to put it in the bag or something. Just put all the jerseys in a bag. Don't throw it away. That will be my suggestion.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, next time
You gotta bring some.
I think I'll bring. I have Jokic packed, but again, I told you I don't have much wall room.
Yeah.
So I have Jokic. I have this flag, and I have maybe that will fit. And then I have a Colorado flag. Like I don't the jerseys.
No, the flags.
Oh, on the ceiling. That's
Oh,
cool.
that could be so good.
I saw a video actually today of someone putting a flag on the ceiling.
How do you do that?
I don't know.
That
but
could be
there's
so
gotta be a way,
good.
if they were doing it, they're comfortable. So, like you
You are so dialed right
above
now.
your-
That's so good. Yeah, nothing better than like falling asleep to looking at the trophy, bro. Man, that if you want to talk about a memory, that was special.
Yeah.
But that's good looks. I don't know how many of these I'd bring. Like, who should I bring out of these
Well, you could
8
just bring
behind?
it. You could be the guy.
True, because I mean, frats definitely like everyone has a jersey. So I just don't know
No
which,
one's on the same team as them.
except
LeBron.
James, LeBron. That's wild. Well, some of them I guess I got most of them when they were on their own teams.
Mhm.
But I definitely didn't think Dame was gonna leave.
Yeah.
No, Giannis is still there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But KD, I knew that was a
KD was
temporary
bad.
one. But like that jersey was too sick to not cop. And then Mitchell, I just needed a different color, so I got the yellow going
Yeah. That's
instead of like the Lakers yellow.
Mhm.
So that was good. But good idea. Oh my God,
Got you.
flag. But to go back to it, the next time that us three alone record could be around Christmas,
It probably will be around Christmas.
right? Because that's the only time you
I
have.
can't come home for Thanksgiving.
And this all might be gone, and I probably won't put it back up just for one episode. But it's just gonna be different.
It's gonna be
We're just like going into your room to like
Yeah,
you
just
slept there.
yeah.
Yeah,
It'll be like
4
cleared out
months.
too.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
My
like,
mom
moved
wants
out.
to like start like use it for yoga. Like,
Yeah.
okay, great.
Yeah.
But it will feel different.
Yeah.
The last couple things I have is kind of what's one thing that you look forward to the most? Like we've talked about the sad things, but what's the thing you look forward to the most about college? Maybe something specific that high school couldn't offer you. I have one. Do you want me to start?
You can start to go.
So for me, obviously Northfield had some school spirit, but really it kind of lacked when it came down to it. And that goes hand in hand with what I'm about to say, but we didn't have home football games. Okay?
Yep.
Like our bleachers could not hold enough
Same-
kids
same
for
with
it.
us here.
Yeah. You didn't play
Well, we
East.
had our
You
home
played at
field
All
was
City.
at All City, yeah.
Oh, literally. Okay, so I didn't even know you didn't have football. Okay. So yeah, don't have home football. Didn't have home football games. Football is like one of the best sports to watch in my opinion. And I mean, you can get so rowdy in football. It's just it's so fun to tailgate, so fun to watch. And I never had that true experience besides a homecoming game. So the thing that I look forward to the most is the school spirit in general, but also like those Saturday afternoon games are going to hit different, bro.
Yes.
And one thing I didn't realize was when I attended the UT event is the checkerboard, bro. So I don't know, they might have just been saying it, but I think we are the founders of the checkerboard pattern. So like it's orange, white all around the stadium,
Oh, wow.
and they created
okay.
that. So the like being there Saturday afternoon, big game.
Who else does that? Oregon,
Some people tried to mimic it
Kentucky, right?
and failed.
Kentucky's pretty good.
Kentucky, I think
Checkerboard, they-
Penn State.
Penn State's the whiteout.
Yeah, they just do white.
Oh, they don't do checker?
Penn State whiteout goes
Penn
crazy.
State White was crazy. But just to be there Saturday afternoon, big game,
And
and you checkerboard, like it's that energy
That's gonna be
is something I've never. I mean, you go to Broncos games and feel that, but that's like
this
is your
that's
team
the
now.
deal.
So that's what I'm looking forward to. What do
I
you guys
kind of
got?
agree with you. We're going to big schools.
Yeah,
I'm going to the Realty. And I mean,
That's a great way to slide that
we
in.
have like a bunch of cool, good sports teams. Like that's kind of one thing I'm looking forward to. Like just like I
100%.
told you, I said like my dorm is right across the street from the
Yeah.
football stadium. Like
Yeah.
it's literally 100 steps away, and you're. I think college football is miles ahead of NFL football.
sure.
It
Like
is, definitely.
especially because you're like so much more emotionally attached to it.
100%.
Like and like everyone is more involved than NFL fans are. Like I think it's just such a cool thing. Like
Absolutely.
you're independent too. Like you can go out whenever you want.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you have to be responsible with it, but like you could just go out to a football game, come home, sleep, wake up the next morning, you go
Yeah.
to school or stuff like that. It's
It's
just
huge.
like doing what you want, but also finding a way to learn to become responsible as an
Right.
adult. So
Yeah.
I love it. That's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to a smaller school, so that environment might not be as peak as you guys, but
Yeah,
obviously
you'll have
it'll
different.
still be there, you
Yeah.
know.
I think no, yours is. I think you should be excited about like playing in front
Yeah,
of your school.
yeah.
Yeah, you
Like
are
for
the
a college.
you
Like,
are the
That's
player now.
definitely, you know, high school, we never really had a strong, sturdy weightlifting program
Mhm.
for our team, and I've never really been good at staying consistent with
Right.
that. So, you know, being able to see myself improve not only at the game but physically, you know, see that improvement, and then, like you guys said, being able to show how much I've improved on the court in front of these
Mhm.
people that go to my school is just going to be crazy.
That's so
I
different.
can't wait.
Yeah, you have a very unique experience in front
Yeah,
of you.
it
But
is.
I will be excited to see 6'4", 190
6'4",
Jake.
yes,
Like
sir.
I'm gonna be
190.
so
Coming.
like I expect you to come back in here
Coming
and
through.
I expect you to fill up space. Like
Hey.
Ryan better have to scoot his
He's
ass
gonna
this
have
way
to
because
sit
he's
here
just like
and-
there. I'm expecting a lot.
Don't you
But
worry.
that's a good point because high school definitely didn't have the physical gains and mental
Mental too.
because it sounds like your schedule's pretty tough. So
It's a lot.
yeah, the conditioning and
Yeah, I
everything.
think like high school, you weren't forced to like go to the weight
Exactly.
room,
This
eat
is
well.
yeah.
But then college level, you have to focus on that every day. You've got
Mhm.
coaches surrounding you
Yeah.
like 24/7. Like it's actually like you're gonna be held accountable for every action you do.
Yeah.
So
Seriously,
you know.
yeah,
Fun.
it's gonna be great. Well, that I feel like that was a good place to end it. If you guys are good with it, yeah. Well, okay, that concludes another episode of Granted and the last episode of Granted in the summer of 24 as before we go off to college. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for coming over, man. You know I have a lot of love for y'all and it will not feel the same without you guys on the pod or in life in general. So thank you for coming on. But we're at 85,000. Peace out.